Yo, what is up, friends, foes, and members of the Omni Council? My name is Daimien Kamiya and I'm the Omni King, and welcome to Genshin. Yeah, I had to push the stream back a little bit. I got food, and the food was delayed, and I was super hungry. Yeah, so the stream today, obviously, we're gonna start out with dailies. I don't know what the timing is. I finished up the main, story event for the Lantern Rite, but there's still one more set of mini games. If they're active today, I will do them. If they're not, we are heading to Sumeru. And if they are available, then I'll just do them quickly. They don't take very long. I'll also show you off my brand new party member. I kind of think I could have done it on stream, but it wasn't like I wished for her. But we'll head over to the game here. Well, you'll have to excuse me a second while I readjust the properties of the audio for this game, because it never likes to stay. There we go. So there she is. Ningguang herself. So on the next banner, I will be doing some wishing. Because I was looking up I don't really look up builds too often, but I looked up Ningguang just specifically because I wanted to know where she stood on Geo. And I learned that she was DPS, and that got me excited. Sorry. But I learned that she's effectively nowhere near as good unless she's at C1. Because C1 turns her attack. It makes her attacks have like a AoE splash when they hit opponents. So in the next banner, I will be pulling again to try and get Ningguang, and maybe hopefully get Xingqiao too, which would give me every 4-star in the game. I still don't know about the 3.5 characters, because I know Daya's coming out. She's Pyro. It's really debatable, because right now I'm content with the Pyro users I have in my team. Looking at this, I have Bennett on the Burning team, and I have Xinyan here. Sorry. I literally just finished eating before I started the stream, so I have to see more about what Daya can do. If she's an off-field pyro, that changes things, because there's very few of those in this game. And then Mika. Mika's cryo. We don't know what his weapon is, and he very well could be a healer. And if he's a cryo healer, I need him. Because otherwise, I'm hoping and praying to every god under the sun that I get Chi-Chi at some point, which God knows whenever that's going to be. Right? I weaseled Seiyu back into this team just because I needed a healer. I ended up moving Mona in this team, so Bennett's the only healer in it. And then Kokomi got moved here. Yeah, no problem, Chloe. I fully understand. My birthday is January 31st, Chloe. I'm familiar with when high school exams are. I had to write exams on my birthday sometimes. My birthday is next week. Yeah, so, and then this team, I moved Kokomi here because I had Diona as, oh, yours tomorrow? Well, happy, sorry. Happy early birthday. I'm streaming tomorrow, so if you show up tomorrow, I'll wish you a happy actual birthday as well. Though, it depends, because I'm off tomorrow, so it'll be more of a day stream. Yeah, those are never fun. No problem. See, I got, so, Chloe, Ningguang was my, my Lantern Rite 4-star. I ended up getting Xinyan Yunjin, and Yao Yao, all from the banner. I also got C1 Mona. Chloe, you're not even going to believe it. So I started pulling. I was pulling on Al Haytham's banner because I don't really care for Zhao. I pulled a 5-star again. I did it again. I got C1 Mona, which I'm not like, I really wanted Chi-Chi, but like I'm super like I didn't really care if I got Al Haytham in all honesty. But yeah, I single pulled a 5-star again. You think I know how? Do you think I know how I do it, Chloe? Were you watching when I pulled for Raiden and Ayato? I pulled Ayato after more pulls than I was really content with. And then I immediately switched to Raiden and single pulled her right after Ayato. Do you think I know how I do this? There was a moment back when the Wanderer's banner was out, and I was pulling with Twig. Twig pulled Catching. And then immediately after, she's like, come on, let's, not, back-to-back 5-star. And I cut in and I go, what kind of crazy fool can pull back-to-back 5-stars? Being completely and utterly, like, blatant. I did get Yao Yao, though. Yao Yao was who I was pulling for. And then Jinyan was a bonus. I got, like, C2 Yunjin, though I don't really care for her. But Yao Yao I wanted, because now that the Resonance boosts my Elemental Mastery, and this is a Hyper Bloom team, and she's a healer. Right now, Seiyu's on this team because it's the only healer I can get under the circumstances. This team, Bennett's my healer. I'm not particularly happy with that. I don't like the bursts being the heal. I want heal on skills for more usage. But this is my... I actually kind of like Tainari now, and it's nice to have a good bow user. And then this is kind of an impromptu team until I figure things out a bit more. But I'm going to run with it for a little bit. Alright, I will not be pulling on banner because I need to pull on the next banner. Alright, so that is active. I got to do dailies. I got to do the events. I got to check my mailbox.
My legs are so sore.
Chloe, Chloe, if I could figure out how I managed to do these 5-star pulls, I think life would be easier. Let's see. Oh, yeah. While I'm at it, I do, because of the amount of characters I got, I do have 4 standard banner pulls. So we are going to do these quickly. It's a 3-star weapon! Yo, and it's a 3-star! I already actually got a 5-star. I did it on stream, but I can show you it quickly. It's on Bennett. I got that. The sword. I don't actually have that great of luck on the standard banner. I didn't want one, though. I wanted Chi-Chi. The one 5-star I really want is Chi-Chi. Not only because I just love her character, she sounds adorable, but she's a cryo healer. And that's what I want. I want the bloody cryo healing. I want a healer that isn't goddamn Hydro. Yeah, all 3 stars. That's a shame. Alright, dailies are in Sumeru. Run, Layla, run! Oh yeah, I unlocked Sumeru dailies. After the last stream, I unlocked I beat Act, not the last stream, the stream before. I beat Act 2, but the quest that involved unlocking stuff wasn't available right away. Because it involved Catherine, who the wonderful Nahida was taking control of.
Emerge right now.
You want this one?
Hold the line. Hold. Line to commit. Emerge right now.
Don't waste my time.
Now you're testing my patience.
Rest and rebuild. My guiding stars. Stars, shine for me. Show them.
Alright, that daily's done. Next daily is in the city. So Chloe, who did you go for on your 4-star? Like, which Leo 4-star did you take? You know, if you've had the time so far. You got Yao Yao? Yeah. I think I have C3 Yao Yao. Because I decided I wanted Yunjin, and I ended up getting C2 Yao Yao and C2... Or not Yunjin, sorry, Zhengyan. I got C2 on both of them in the attempt. Spent a little bit of money to get more pulls. Got Zhengyan first pull afterwards, but it also came with another Yao Yao, so I have C3 Yao Yao. Wow, really? That's like my Yang Fei luck. You know, going back to that collab I did with Twig where I pulled for Yang Fei and she pulled for Wanderer. I was actually re-looking through the footage because I still plan to do a highlight of that. And yeah. And I realized that the character we wanted was single pulled by the other person. So she went first, and on her first pull, she got Yang Fei. And it took me God knows how many. I managed to get 2 Wanderers. What was it? 2 Wanderers, Jean, and C6 Goro, and Faruzan before I got 1 Yang Fei. C1 Wanderer, C6 Goro and Faruzan, and I think I even got... I swear I got a non-banner 4-star too, but that could have been off standard banner. Right? And then she won a Wanderer. It took her like 140 pulls to get Wanderer, and I one-pulled him. I got him first pull. I didn't even want him. He is useful for like movement utility though. I try to, if he wasn't Animo, I'd be so happy using him. I could almost guarantee to find him on a team if he was not Animo. I hear a cat. It's a cat. God damn it. But I am super happy with, like, so Yao Yao actually pairs really well with my Ayato team. If I was still running Child, yeah, if I was still running Child, Yao Yao wouldn't be as useful to me. So what I do is I use Nahida's skill, Yao Yao's skill, Shinobu's skill, and then Ayato's skill, and I start blitzing Bloom and Hyper Bloom and all that stuff. However, if Ayato has his burst up, I will then instead Nahida skill, Ayato burst, Shinobu skill, and then I will use Yao Yao's burst. Because Yao Yao's burst cancels if you switch off of her. But and I need Hydro, but Ayato's burst puts out a Hydro AoE. So I can keep it up. Like, 4-stars are scary in some ways. Like, I know that I'm guaranteed a 5-star within some aspect of things, but it's like 4-stars, I know I'm guaranteed a 4-star every 10 pulls, but there's 3. But not only is that range literally shared between every weapon and character, but it's only increased on the 3 characters on the banner. Like, sometimes I feel like going for the 4-star you want is harder than going for the 5-star. Because, the very least, like, yeah, you can screw up the 5-star once. But after that, like, you're guaranteed him the next time. There's no guarantee I'm going to get the 4-star I want at any point in time.
Hold the line. Emerge. Right here. Right now. Not now.
Gotcha. Alright, one more up here. And then I just gotta do the, Final moments of the Lantern Rite events, and then it's on to our conquests.
Sleepy. Okay, let me grab a pillow and rest my eyes before this wears off. It's been two days since I last.
Got it. To Liwa. Catherine, I need my things. Give me my rewards.
Thank you for Add Astra.
Zhang Yun. Official. Bennett. And Shinobu. Right. I will also quickly head to the teapot. That is the wrong thing I wanted to do. Still trying to... I managed to hit rank 10 on Shinobu. Like friendship level rank 10. Did you actually end up getting Al-Haytham, though? You didn't actually really confirm whether you got him or not. Just that you pulled for him 80 times.
This realm is...
Child level 7 and Hazo level 6. So Hazo has new dialogue now. You did? That's good. The reason I didn't want him was because he felt too DPS for Dendro for me. I know it's kind of like weird to say. Oh no, it's just child. But like to me, Dendro is very off-field. Right? Like the way I'm playing Dendro is a lot of the DPS doesn't come from Dendro. Dendro's a part of this setup. Right? Look at my two Dendro teams. Oh, I can't show because I'm in the stupid teapot. I'll show you in a second. Let's talk to child first.
It's been a while. I've grown quite a bit stronger.
Is there anything you'd like to do?
When can you spare a few weeks? I want to take you to see the scenery of my homeland. To gaze upon the endless snowy sky. To stand on frozen lakes that won't shatter, no matter how hard you tread. Some people even carve gigantic ice sculptures there. If you like snowball fights, I'll pair with you and we can face off against my siblings. Oh, and I almost forgot. I can also make authentic borscht for you with specialty ingredients from my hometown. And, of course, we have to go ice fishing. The fish are much larger than the ones you find in ponds.
Sounds like a blast.
It's settled then. Seems like I'll have to give my family a heads up. I can see it now. The beaming smiles on their faces as they gather around and read the letter.
Yo, rank 14, let's go.
Even when we're
Alright, let me teleport to one of the events here.
watching over us.
Liwa. Alright, once the loading screen's done, I'll point out my teams. Alright. Sorry. Stop So my two Dendro teams. So this is the Pyro Hyper, or the Pyro Bomb one, right? So Mona's the set. Mona starts out with using her skill. Then Tainari comes in with his stuff to set up as many blooms as possible. And then Bennett comes in with the BAM! And blows everything up. So technically Bennett's the DPS. But Bennett isn't even the DPS. Because the true DPS of the team is Hazel. Because I use him when these three aren't in conjunction with each other. And then the other Dendro team here, excluding Yao Yao, because she's technically also Dendro, this is the core team here. Nahida tags them, which causes her skill to pulse Dendro. Shinobu sets up the electric thing so that it pulses. And then Ayato just spam clicks his skill to summon blooms that hyper bloom. That's the team. Right? Like, at no point do I have Dendro on the field as the main. And looking at Al-Haytham, he seems very much like a main field Dendro. But to me, Dendro's not designed to be main unless you can figure out a setup that has a lot of off-fielders. Like, I guess if you paired him with Raiden, he'd probably be good. Because, like, his skill is an infusion. Like, that's something you have to take in mind. His skill overrides his damage with Dendro. So he's useless with Cryo. For sure. Because he doesn't pair with Cryo. I personally do not like using Burning all that often. Just because Burning can easily get overridden by any other status. The moment someone's burning, if you hit them with electric, ice, or literally any other element, that will take precedence and treat it like a pyro reaction. But like, yeah, I guess Raiden would pair well with him. And maybe like and then I guess if you use like Mona or Kokomi for like off-field water. Miko wouldn't probably be too bad either.
Why do I have to write so many papers? Why?
Alright, let's get these events done. Puzzle time! Alright. I need the key to unlock the door. Alright. Right, I see this. Alright. So first things first. I need that there. This needs to go here. That there. Boom. Done. Okay, so the buttons are what gets tricky because the buttons cannot be double stepped. What does the button do? Oh, right. I don't even know if I can grab that key without falling, but I can't fall because the area above it is locked. Oh, wait, never mind. I can just move that here. The key moves with it. But I can't do it right away because Oh, well, maybe. Let's just do that. We'll do that. We'll do this. No, that's a loss. All right, I see. So I need to do it in a way that causes me to hit the button a second time. Because I have, like, there's no way I have to fall in this direction. Like, going right. So, I'm going to let that trigger. Then I think I'm going to do this. No, restart already. All right, well, good luck on your exams, Chloe. There we go, got it. Fall into the key. And then I just move that there, and I'm good. Okay. Oh, really? What does this button unlock? That one there? No. I need to fall down this from this direction. So this piece is crucial here. You fall down this way. So I land on this, and then I keep going. I can move this to here, which will bump that, then I can move this to here, and while he's on it after turning around. So all I got to do is just get him up there first. It's automatically going to trigger the button. So I need to make it trigger the button a second time. So I'll move that there. I've already screwed myself. Okay. Once he turns around, boom. We're good. Gotcha. That's all of them. Alright. We'll do the beta one next. Because this is one I don't have to hunt down. Alright, just gotta... If I do this well enough, I can get away with doing it twice. I just need 1,000. Oh god. That worked out well, didn't it? Looking for hearts. Or pink. Pink is the one I want. Choo choo. More pink. Oh god. Oh, I was hoping to get both. All right. Well, that's a fine score. Just got to do it one more time and I'll reach the maximum 4,000. Come on. Oh, this is going to be a big haul. Oh my god, look at that. Completely unnecessary quantity. Alright, so I'm just going to go based on the symbols on the map. So I'm going to presume that it's those two, but I'm just going to double check just to be sure. Okay, I was wrong. Yaifu, hello! Welcome to the stream! Alright. All on you, dear Seiyu. Dash like you've never dashed before. Not enough sparkling rush, come on. I think I used the first one too early. Man, they're really forcing me into the skies of Mondstadt, huh? Look at how high that is. Like, I could probably die from a melee attack. Oh god. I just got hit with the vertigo. Oh wow, I didn't. Alright. Now I just have the last itty bitty event, the combat one. That's where I thought it was. I didn't remember doing the one here.
Make my escape.
There is no escape.
One with my blade.
Gosh.
A touch of frost.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish.
Ding.
Come on out.
Rock and roll.
Amp it up. Shine down.
From whence you came.
Thank goodness there's no time limit on this one.
One with my blood.
Feel the beat.
And away I go.
I ended that way too soon.
Submit for judgment.
Illusion shattered. Power core.
Swift and merciful.
Die, you plant! So I've come to realize that Chongyun on this team, once again, this somehow keeps happening, but he's not actually that valuable. He was valuable in the original set he was on, but now, because Seiyu's on the team for now, Rosaria's better. Because Chongyun doesn't really benefit Seiyu, but Rosaria can benefit Seiyu.
You can't run. Time to rock. Pyrotechnics. Punish me.
Is the last one? Oh no, that was the last chest entirely. I kind of wish they made the last chest look a bit different, so you knew there wasn't more to do. Oh, there's another event quest. I thought it ended with the epilogue one. Oh, you have to complete that one there first. Oh my god. Lots of dialogue. I'm too tired to care to read. Hmm. Alright, all done. We will go up here. One second, I'm just gonna throw my sweater on. A little bit chilly. Alright, north we go. Rock and roll!
You can't run.
When there's cool finishers, I'm gonna shout out things that complement the really cool finishers. And Jinyan has a really cool finisher. Like, not even visually, just like how it gets even stronger. Sorry, I'm super tired. It's a lot of work today. At work.
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you all right. Take a look around. You've fallen right into our trap.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of 30? Did you come here to arrest us?
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those government lapdogs who don't even get scraps for their work. We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru. We're here on the orders of a client known only as the Outcast.
The outcast? An outcast? But why wouldn't the doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat.
Yo, I get to kill mercenaries.
There's no escape. Judgment. Shiver.
Need more. That's close enough.
A new punching bag.
You can't run. Torn to oblivion. Shine down. Power cord.
Oh my god, can I hit 2 enemies, please?
It isn't over yet. Here comes reinforcements.
Yo!
There is no escape. Feel the beat.
There we go. Say you, your turn.
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah, looks like we'll have to keep our guards up. But this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew exactly where to set up an ambush. Did he predict that we would try to find Tainari? Going up against smart people is tough. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yay, it's Kali!
Oh, it's the Traveler and Paimon. What are you two doing back here? Kale! It's nice to see you again. Are you doing alright? To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My Elazar has been progressing at a faster rate lately. I'm finding it harder to complete more intricate tasks. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. He will only allow me to stay here and coordinate other people's tasks. Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol? We're here to talk to him. Oh, Master Tainari? He just left the Avidia Forest a little while ago. He was headed to Party's DI. He left? But isn't Tainari always saying that he never wants to leave the Avidia Forest? He even turned down the Sage's invitation. I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher above everything. He almost never leaves his post. He left in a hurry. No.
He didn't
I
give a
only found out
reason?
that he left through a message he left behind. He also made sure to delegate all his tasks using a schedule. To leave in such a hurry? I'd guess he had something urgent to take care of. Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academia, and Pardis Dii is something like the Amorta's research base. Many rare shrubs and grasses have been planted there for research. I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research at Pardis Dii.
A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research Tainari just decided to work on all of a sudden. Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Pardis Dii.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Don't worry, I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar by now. If you run into Master Tainari, please send him my regards.
Got it. Will do. See you later, Kale.
All right. City time.
Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey! This was supposed to be a touching reunion, but you're ruining the moment!
Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, the Doctor has shown that his technology can apparently even control human minds. Plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after we split up and I was facing the Doctor by myself. Even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally pass as a patch of sky.
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy.
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your trust or anything. All I wanted was to clarify my point.
Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us more about what happened. Are those poor people all right?
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the Doctor mentioned depositing information into the subconscious, he didn't mean engraving information into their minds. Instead, he did something closer to creating hallucinations. That was still within my power to fix. Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was about to capture me.
Whew. What a relief. The Doctor sure pulled out some hidden cards, but good thing we had Nahida with us.
I wouldn't be relieved just yet. I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our trump cards. Also, the Doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals. Maybe it's only a matter of time until he captures my consciousness inside the Akasha.
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then how do we stop him? He's still at the Academia, so it's possible he already started messing with the Akasha.
It'll get worse with time.
Feels like he's toying with us. What a nasty piece of work. Plus, the Doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy of being number 2 of the Fatui.
We shouldn't give up hope just yet. Let's try to find another way to attack this problem.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Pardis Dii? Have you been waiting for us?
Yes, I have. I can see the Traveler's elemental energy, so I deduced your destination by looking at the direction you were moving in. You didn't come here for sightseeing, right? Did you find any leads?
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Why don't you come inside with us and see what we can find?
Okay, let's just hope we won't get him into trouble.
Oh, look who it is.
traveler. It is you!
Ah, it's Hypatia!
Long time no see.
What a pleasant surprise! It's so nice to see the two of you again.
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the... what's it called? Satyavada life?
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time. Ever since I've come here, hardly anyone has even talked to me.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this.
She's not wearing the
You
terminal.
in the Avidia Forest means... you're not in training anymore? Wait, no. Did you already finish your training and reach Pariporna life?
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed to make contact with the divine.
You did it! Congratulations!
I'm really happy for you.
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime joy with others at long last. When my consciousness made contact with the gods. What a supreme and unparalleled experience that was.
That sounds incredible!
Or is she here for Tenuri?
All right. Actually, please wait. I haven't forgotten my promise to you. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insights. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connection to the consciousness of the divine.
You can do that?
You believe her, Nahida?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a try, I'll do my best to protect your consciousness during the process.
Hold on. I brought some spirit borneal with me. This is still a crucial part of the ceremony.
We're using
Part of me
that
doesn't
sense
trust
then?
it. She doesn't have her terminal on.
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a pathway to connect your consciousness.
And the camera angles aren't helping.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounced the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? Everything matches what we know about him. But how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking about?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic god! Such a noble will! Such sublime emotion! Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart. Oh,
Okay,
great
so
and
she's just
merciful
naive.
God, please grant me forgiveness and salvation.
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Periporno life, but rather...
You! Why are you so mean to me? Why is everyone hiding from me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the darkness?
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything should be. Wait. Have I already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right.
Oh, there's Tighnari.
Okay, we finally
Where did he
got
come
him.
from?
Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no. Something feels different.
Oh, the Traveler's back?
What just
Nahida
happened?
was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine puppet was destroyed. After that, Tighnari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean your consciousness also went into Nahida's body? Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness? Where is she now?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. I don't think this can be achieved with current human technology. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. She said, "The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with you anymore. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies."
Oh no! Nahida's trapped in the sanctuary of Surathana for good this time. Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague.
It's in a code that only we know.
Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. She's being extra careful. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies. Huh. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from the alchemical divination at the Sub-Zero's festival. Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria.
The moon is Nahida herself.
That makes a lot of sense. Huh. Do you think Nahida was telling us to go find help in the desert? But she isn't with us anymore. Think we'll be okay?
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking about, the consciousness who was occupying the traveler's body, is the Dendro Archon?
Your guess is correct, but the situation's a bit complicated, so it's really hard for us to explain right now.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. As for the complicated nature of the situation, safe to say I have witnessed that for myself. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so I trust you.
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question. What do you know about the project that the sages have been working on?
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always secretive about its scope and goals, so I eventually declined. All I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body?
He's turning the Balladeer into a god.
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad. It's because she made contact with the consciousness of a new god who is still in the process of being born.
Tainari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of Hypatia?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, I secretly took her to Pardes Dii and began searching for a way to return her to her normal self. If I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert, doomed to a life of exile at Aru village. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly highly of Lesser Lord Kusanali, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not accepting their invitation.
The Fatui may also be behind
Doctor
this.
and the Balladeer. We have 2 Fatui Harbingers in Sumeru. Sounds like we're in for a bad time. From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room for us to intervene. But then, what is the connection between creating a new god and restoring Irminsul?
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the sage's goals.
Head for the desert for now.
We've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out. How about you, Tainari? What are you going to do?
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things to help Hypatia. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Rabat. That'll be your fastest route. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help. May the spirit of wisdom go with you.
Thanks, Tainari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better soon. We're off then.
Alrighty.
to Caravan Rebot. It's pretty lively here. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta be the divine work of Greater Lord Ruka.
Truly awe-inspiring.
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
I'll hate them out of nowhere. I'll hate
Over
them.
here.
Oh, Hatham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
What the? Where did he go? How did we lose him? They were just here a second ago.
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time? Anyway, Traveler, it seems like we were being followed again.
You were too careless. You should have noticed those
One
careless
second.
amateurs trailing you a long time ago.
Sorry, that was a work phone call. Had to take that.
There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the academia.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us back on their orders.
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the academia's hit list. I can't say that I didn't expect it. However, had I wished to turn you over to the academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
Oh, right. You do have a point.
Did you?
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer.
So you're actually looking for me?
Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Unfortunately, I've run into some difficulties. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how the capsule first came to be. Which brings me back to you, and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ainul Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing what you've been hiding from me?
Haytham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
Situation is a little complicated.
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the Academia after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your chest.
I already know he's going to be like the
That
next
does
leader
prove
of
you
like
do
the
have some
Academia or
undisclosed
whatever.
Information about the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Am I right?
People in high authority within the regions all contain visions of the archons they're from. You got Jean in Mondstadt. You got Ningguang in Liyue. In Inazuma, while technically not possessing an authoritative... Now, you could argue this one, depending on who, but it works. So, you have Sarah, who's the general to the Toshiro Commission, and that would be some level of authority, but she's not a head or anything. I would argue Miko, even though she doesn't actually have any direct authority, I would argue that she's effectively A's right hand. And since this is the most predominant Dendro user we've seen here, like, it's either going to be him or Tainari, and he seems like more of the schooling type.
No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also headed to the desert?
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't really have any concrete goals at the moment.
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well, would you like to head there together?
Let's head there together.
It's better to travel with someone you know. Let's go!
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else. What a cool place! Let's go check it out! Wow!
He's not gonna win this fight.
Sino.
Am I actually gonna have to fight him?
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamacho's wrath?
Oh, Haytham. Do not think you can escape my judgment, just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Alhaitham? Did you call him General Mahamatra?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Alhaitham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
Has Alhaitham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Alhaitham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
You did lie to us.
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
Hey, Lo, how have you been?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
Alice.
You
What?
two? Ugh. What you would do, Traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either of them.
Oh, alive. Autocorrect.
Look at you two.
Yo, it's Dea.
Over there.
Wait, Dia?
Dia.
Great! Finally, someone that we can
It's good to see you again, man.
You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are gonna start fighting again.
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all.
You're playing War of Thunder right now? Well, that's good. Good luck, man. With I don't necessarily know what that game is, but good luck with whatever you're doing.
Brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds. Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong. Is this a sandstorm? Paimon's gonna get blown away.
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover!
Anders.
Calling for us. Oh, this wind is too strong. Let's get over there.
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you Academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Does this need to really play out this long? Go forward. Oh my god, the auto... Jesus
Well,
Christ.
this is pretty awkward. Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping us.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister. Unlike
I
those
can't tell if they can hear her or not.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand. As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the sandstorm started. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever to us. So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and put your hostile feelings to rest. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
On second thought, Paimon may have misjudged Candace's character.
What's
And that goes for
EOC?
you
Sorry,
too, Miss
I'm just
Mia.
getting to your comment now, Lo. What's
Do I make
EOC?
myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear. So, which of you will begin?
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I'm
Oh, okay, yeah.
a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
I know exams are this week
That
for
was
like
you
high
trying
schools
to
and
be a
stuff.
mediator?
This week, next week type of thing.
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Huh? Exile yourself?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data was
Oh,
none
wow.
other than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me. I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning. Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us."
So they really are up to no good.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the academia of today. I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor predict my actions. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once I find the truth, I will administer judgment by my own name.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary. Well, Sino, if that's your story, then why did you see Al-Haytham as a target?
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between Alhaitham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Alhaitham?
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the Traveler.
Alhaitham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all.
Glasses
Their
gun?
words contained one key piece of
Oh,
information.
fun. Ah, okay.
Namely, that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all
Well,
I
that's
needed
good.
to know. From my perspective,
Sorry
the
if I'm not
sages
speaking
are
much. I'm
far from
absorbing the
trustworthy.
story.
Think about it. Isn't it a
Yeah.
little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
And then the fact that we were looking for
talk
it.
about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Academia. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
Now you mentioned it. Things did go like that.
That's true. Alhaitham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in this land.
Yep. Curiosity
You
killed
should
the
be
cat.
well aware, Scribe Alhaitham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the Academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
As you wish.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru Village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, Dia.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Oh, that sounds like a fun noise.
What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm?
Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage. You needn't worry.
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
The winds died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright? Maybe we should go out and check on her.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.
Is it up there, I guess? Where is Candace? There she is. Oh, it's these things.
Whew. Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I
Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Yo!
Judgment!
Can't touch me! Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up?
Lights out.
Rock and roll!
The creature stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
He the village leader?
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children. I am the chief of Aru Village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Pleasure to
Sir,
meet you.
I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru Village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars exiled here by the academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia forest. The academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, They're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me, it's all a boatload of nonsense.
I also brought
Alas,
that up.
that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins? I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations. Thank you for your help.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! We need to help get them back home, safe and sound. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
I'm gonna do a team swap. Let's run here. I want to use a little bit of Yao Yao. I want to get her friendship rating up because she's new. Ningguang's the same, but I'm holding off a bit on Ningguang just because I'm waiting till I can get C1 to really use her. I also have weird reservations about that team still.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation?
Why do you refer to the Mad Scholars as village
One of my
keepers?
former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange incident. The Academia has long exiled Mad Scholars to Aru Village. A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When Mad Scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But after spending some time here, they invariably begin to calm down. Initially, the people of Aru Village greatly resented having to take in the Mad Scholars. But a strange incident one night changed that. Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village was preparing to take everyone to safety. Suddenly, he noticed a Mad Scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground. In the end, not a single building collapsed, and no one was hurt. After that, the people of Aru Village treated the Mad Scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer to them as the Village Keepers.
A soft green light? A Mad Scholar protecting Aru Village? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the Mad Scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru Village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the Academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction with them.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down, It was probably Nahida who calmed them.
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more information than I do. So, what do you make of the story?
The Mad Scholar's power likely came from Lord Kusanali, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Lesser Lord Kusanali was actually the one who protected the village.
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power to the Mad Scholars!
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your reasoning. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. Is she really active in Sumeru? The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never had any reason to doubt their views. In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... how should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind.
We saved Sumeru City together in a not so distant
I've
past.
spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can easily tell when someone is lying.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth!
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. You two really must have met Lesser Lord Kusanali. How can this be? To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
Hey, Jester!
Now
Welcome!
it's time to put our
Good to see
skills
you again.
Good use for this investigation.
You've arrived during Genshin's story.
But easier said than done, especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe we can start by knocking on some doors.
Going good. I'm a bit absorbed into the Genshin story here.
Find my grandpa?
Huh? Who are you?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa,
Have you-
right?
Oh, this game has
Your
a story.
grandpa,
It's
Mad
actually a pretty
Scholar.
good story.
Hey, don't say that.
This is actually a really
Grandpa's
good
just
game.
Grandpa.
Like, even the
Why do you have to
rewards
call
are
him
pretty
that?
good if you
It's
want to
not
just
like
play
he's
it
a
free to
bad
play.
person or anything.
The person you're referring to is not.
However,
my
if you want to play it on
uncle, but
PC, you
are.
have to play it through the Epic
Why do you
Games
call me
Store.
Grandpa?
And I know you've told me your reservations about
Grandpa
them in
is
the
just
past.
Grandpa. He's my family. I heard everything you said to the village chief.
I don't know if you've
Please,
changed your
you gotta
opinion
take
since
me
then,
with
but
you. I want to find my grandpa.
otherwise it's
I
mobile.
swear I'll help. I won't
I think
be
it's on
innocent.
PlayStation too, but I don't know if you own like
So
any
you're
of
the
the
one who
like
was eavesdropping
PlayStation
on us
4 or
around the
whatever.
village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was, but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Hazen wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa.
Yeah.
Let's find a way to help him.
I hear it's coming to the Switch soon.
Sorry,
It's just
I
not
was
yet.
only listening in
So if you
'cause I
just
wanted to
hold
know
out,
where
you could play it
Grandpa
when it
went.
comes to the Switch.
Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candace.
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
That's free to play. It's not like it would hurt you to try it if you ever had the time.
Sino is super vigilant. Is this what all the
It is very well written though, I'll say.
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
I had a feeling he'd go looking for you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden,
Yep.
I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window.
It does have a similar,
Really
like,
wants to
I've not
get
played Breath of the
grandfather
Wild, but it does, like, from what I've seen of Breath of the Wild,
parents were
it
both
does
Fire
seem
Knight
similar.
mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding
But its story is much different, because it's, like,
was raised
a
by his
bunch of
grandfather.
characters and stuff.
Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, so various families in the village took turns caring for him so he could survive. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather, and thus often spied on the man. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, he was afraid and didn't dare to approach him. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. He even noticed Isak hiding in the distance. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars, and accompanied Isak until he fell asleep. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. However, even so, Grandpa retained his calm expression. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace, and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun?" Or, "Grandpa, could you tell me stories about the stars again?"
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad. It seems
Yo,
like
Jester,
both
I want
deserve
your
so much
opinion. I'm
better.
trying to think of a good,
Perhaps.
like,
Nearly
semi-strategy
everyone who
game
lives in the desert has some form
to
of
play.
hardship or regret.
When I finish Scarlet Nexus,
even
I want to
so,
play something. I was
we must
thinking,
still
like,
continue
something
on
like
with our lives.
XCOM, or,
It's also my
there's
mission,
another
Sakurai.
game I have.
I must continue to protect this land.
Is it Shadow Ronin? Is it called? Shadow Tactics: The Blades of the Shogun. I'm just trying to. I just want to play games that kind of like.
God watching over them.
I've been playing a lot of RPGs lately, so I want to kind of try something
nothing.
different.
As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get in our way, we can take him along.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept my thanks on Isak's behalf, Sino.
Hey, Isak! Oh, it's you guys!
Yeah.
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your grandpa. Really? Wow!
I don't know. I thought I'd throw it out there, see if you know. I might just take a look at some stuff.
All right. Let's ask the local residents some questions first.
Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots. They shouldn't go around eating that kind of stuff.
Okay. Did you notice anything else?
Anything else? No, I think that's all I have to tell you. Sorry.
What are the two games you play? I know, I'm assuming Final Fantasy XIV is still one of them.
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them?
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night. But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man?
Oh,
who looks like
and Sea
your
of
grandpa's
Thieves.
long-lost twin, right?
I didn't realize you still
He
played
was
that
actually
one.
the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something with his hands on the ground. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll
Yeah,
always be
Pokemon
grateful
Unite's
to him
free to
and
play,
taught
right?
him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Not much lately.
Thank you.
What they say is true.
Wow.
You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is.
I didn't actually think the cat was gonna react to that, not gonna lie. Wait, where am I going next?
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out near the village entrance.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, your grandpa, huh? It's been a while. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite terrified of them. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora. Might explain why she's always mad at me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking care of him.
It was nothing. You're looking for him, right? Did he go for a walk and get lost?
Yeah.
Do you have to like buy new Pokemon
Well,
in that game?
Come by my place again.
Like if they release new Pokemon, or are they Well, I imagine you probably do, right? Like you do in League and Smite and stuff, right? Like not all characters are free.
Please feel free to come by anytime.
Wow, what a nice guy.
Okay.
One positive thing I've heard about Unite is that the games are fast. I've heard that the games are fast. Like, I've seen people play it, and the games are like, yeah, 5-10 minutes, and it's like, compare that to like an hour plus on League or Smite.
Don't say anything for now. Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
Four started. Let's go. Man, Act 3 kind of blew by, didn't it? Man, the Archon questline really does not have a whole lot of combat.
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty King Deshret, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. King Deshret is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never believed in any other gods. Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here anytime soon. What's your proof?
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of King Deshret's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and King Deshret. Isn't it a sign of King Deshret's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for King Deshret's resurrection.
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean
Yeah, he's not coming back. With how quickly Nahida dismissed the idea of King Deshret, he's not coming back.
Coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said.
So they're broken up into different sections of quests. So you basically have Archon, Story, World, and Side.
You heard what I asked.
So side quests are very, just do this for me quickly, right? The difference between, so world quests tend to unlock things on the map.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match.
I can give you an example in a moment. But,
Sir, what is it you would like to know?
Tell me.
Story quests generally are quests that just kind of progress relationships with characters. And Archon quests are the main quests of the game itself. Only Archon and Story quests have voice acting in it, though. World quests and side quests do not.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
And I learned that the painful way, as there was a world quest. I was spam clicking for 5 minutes and the dialogue was still coming. It was painful. I wasn't even reading. At that point, I had given up on reading. And it took me days to get through the whole thing. And then it ended. Gated? No. So the way it works is there are
It's only a matter of time before we conquer
7 elements in the game, and you'll need those to figure out puzzles. The game gives you, so your starting character is Anemo, Wind. The game gives you Pyro, Cryo, and Electro right off the bat. You can earn another Pyro, you can earn a Dendro, you can earn a Hydro, all for free as you progress. And you can earn a Geo through the wishing mechanisms, because you're guaranteed to get her on the first pull. But your main character has an interesting mechanic about him, which is that when he goes... So there are 7 gods in the game, a god for each element. When you travel to the new regions and kind of like pray at the statue of those gods, you can change your character's element. So currently within the game, the only regions you can access are wind, earth, electricity, and dendro, or plant. So I can change my main character to any of those 4 elements. Right now I'm currently in earth, as I have like the yellow glowing accessories. That color changes based on the element. So yeah, other than that, like, it's just interactions in combat and the overworld puzzles. Beyond that, there's really no gating when it comes to there's no gating at all. The game ensures that you have access to every element on your own. And getting the means of pulling new characters, like it is all luck, but getting the means of it is not difficult by any shape of the imagination. The way I phrase it is, in a lot of games I've played where it's like, oh, here's an event and there's 3 rewards. The best reward is always the highest thing. The thing you have to try the hardest for. In this game, the best reward, which are the primos, which you use to pull for characters, among a few other things, is actually the easiest reward to get. Like, say it's like, complete the challenge, get 1,500 points, get 3,000 points. All you have to do is complete the challenge. The other 2 may give primos, or they may just give additional materials. But, like, the primos are always super easy to get.
Where is this radical?
So it's never so I'll admit I have spent money on this game, but it's.
What about you, man? Have you seen him at all?
But I also did pretty well without paying anything at all for quite a while.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
I have many ways to stop you from talking, and many others to stop you from sending warning messages. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody.
Now, I will say,
do anything
while you're not gated by element, you may be gated by play style.
Something foolish.
So, like, the only Electro character you get for free is like a caster, like a mage type. So if you want to get anything better than that, you just have to hope to pull one out of the banners, like in the wishing the gacha system. Right, the 2 pyro characters, one's a spear user and the other's a bow user. The only free dendro user is bow. The only free hydro character is a caster. The free Geo character is a greatsword user. The free Cryo is sword. Yeah, I believe that's all of them. So,
He didn't try to reassure us
like,
at all.
you'll have the elements, but you may not be comfortable with how the character plays.
Lots of people have told him that before.
I heard that.
Like, I don't generally like bow users in this game. There's very few of them I actually like.
It's part of
the thing I like the most about this game, though, is just how likable the characters are. Like, there's a lot of work that's gone into
check a few more places.
Like creating the personalities for these characters, and then the voice actors just do phenomenal jobs presenting that as well. And a lot of the voice actors for Genshin really go all in on the fact that they voice in Genshin. Like, they are very proud of that fact. A lot of them even stream themselves playing Genshin all the time. I've watched several of them play just to gacha their character. Or just play together for fun. Like during events or whatever. I know this guy here, Sino. I forget his name, but he's voiced by a VTuber.
Very well.
And then another character I have is voiced by a YouTuber that is now also a VTuber, but she wasn't a YouTuber or a VTuber at first.
Well, I can take you there. Just follow me.
But like, yeah, you can. The cool thing too is, so I can go into characters here. I can go to profile, and I can view all of their voice lines. I unlock more as I increase their friendship. But when you click on it, it also tells you who voices the character down in the bottom. So like this is Kimberly Ann Campbell. Like Ayato here, he's Chris Hackney. The one YouTuber I was telling you about here, Seiyu, is voiced by Lily Pichu. You know, Yat Albedo, who's voiced by Deo. And they just, like, some of these are just ambient lines, like, you know, when it starts raining.
The soil is moist, ideal for collecting the roots of boom blossoms. No, please, allow me to handle this.
Heard of who? Oh, Lily Pichu, you mean? Yeah. She's been a YouTuber for a while. I love Fischl here. So Fischl actually has two down here. Brittany Cox and Ben Pronsky. Because Fischl is voiced by Brittany, but Oz, her raven companion, is voiced by Ben. So...
I, Fischl, Prinzessin der Verhurthelung, descend upon this land by the call of fate and... Oh, you are also a traveler from another world? Very well. I grant you permission to travel with me.
She means nice to meet you.
It's they're a fun duo. He's basically role playing though. Right, and then you got some more like saucy characters like Lisa here. This is the free Electro you get, right? So
Hi, darling. Are you going to be Lisa's little helper? What? Me? A grand mage? That was a long time ago. I'm just a humble librarian now. Don't worry, darling. I'll take very good care of you. So...
right, and then you got some more like kid characters too, like Yao Yao. Yao Yao just came out. I just managed to get her.
Hello.
That is a long dialogue box. I'm not playing that one. What about Rain?
Can you hear the frogs croaking? Silly frogs. They're singing along to the sound of the rain. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit.
Right, and then technically, like, Nahida's not really a child because she's technically the Dendro god.
Quick, let's find shelter where mushrooms will start growing on our heads. Can you hear that? The heavens are whispering to all living things. It's time for bed now.
So each god in this game is the god of an element and then a god of, like, a concept. So like, to explain how the elemental powers work, so each god is a god of an element and a concept. So Nahida here is the god of Dendro, but also the god of wisdom. Raiden here, or A, is the god of Electro, but also the god of eternity. I do not have the other two gods available, but that are in the game, but I can show them. You've probably seen Venti at some point, just within the, like, if you've heard of the game, you've probably seen Venti. He's the wind god, but also the god of freedom. And then Zhongli is the god of Geo. But
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
Also the god of contracts.
But where are those who share the memory?
And generally, every character in the game wields an element, and the element they get is based on how their ambitions align with what god they associate with. So, for example, what's a good example here? Yeah, Shen Yan here. She's very passionate about rock and roll. So the fire element is... Pyro is also the god of war and passion. Cryo is rumored to be love and peace, but that one's not technically been revealed yet. and hydro is justice. So a lot of like the hydro users are more right and wrong. Like going to the free hydro healer. Where's Barbara? Sort of. It's mostly just like open world puzzles stuff. Like, oh, this chest is frozen in a block of ice, so I need a pyro character to melt that. Another good example too is if we look at the map. No problem. No problem. But like I was saying that, yeah. So like this area here, this snowy area, is affected by like a cryo effect. Like kind of like a freezing effect. And there are torches throughout the area that the pyro characters can ignite. But coincidentally, other characters like hydro characters can accidentally extinguish them. So it's like keeping up the right mindset of characters. Like I've explored a lot of areas, so maybe there's something down here in Inazuma I can explore just to kind of show you. Oh, I was explaining about world quests and how they change things. This area here, this island, is entirely affected by this electro zone. If you go into it, it hurts you. But as you progress the event, you actually shrink that area. This area was entirely covered in fog. And as you complete that quest, it disappears and you can travel through it. You can't even access this region, Inazuma, until you do a lot of the main story. Same with this one. This one's blocked by main story at first. There's a couple areas here, like this area here and this area here are blocked by a world quest. And then the elements you use in your team. So there's two things to pay attention to. One are reactions, and the other is resonance. So resonance is the buff you get based on the characters you have in your team. So since I have 2 Dendro users, my resonance is extra elemental mastery, so a boost to damage when 2 elements combine. And then bonuses based off of how they combine. So like I'll go, I'll fight a boss really quick just to kind of show you how this team functions. This is a Hyper Bloom team. It requires using Dendro and then Hydro to trigger Bloom, which creates these little plant mines. And then from there, I can use Electro on those to trigger Hyper Bloom, which will cause them to slam into the target. It does a crap ton of damage. But yeah, elemental reactions are like a huge bread and butter part of this game. So this is the Pyro's Regis Vine. You have to kill bosses to get materials to level up characters to higher levels.
You, Glay! You're up! Our bond is strong!
Be still.
Oh. Let me get rid of that barrier.
Commit to memory.
Cascade.
Dead. Oh, whoops. I used my burst by accident. Then you have a resin material that, yeah, so you switch when you're in single player. If you have one friend, you each have 2 characters. If you're 3, then one person will have 2. The host will have 2. And if you're 4, you can only control 1 character, and you have to kind of like correlate. But in single player, you switch between them. You're allowed 4 presets. So this was 1 preset. This is another preset I have. There's my 3rd preset. And my 4th. I think personally you'd love Hazo. I'll deploy this team to show you him. So Hazo is a caster. He's a mage in the game. I need to find an enemy to beat up. You know what? Let's fight a Rune Knight. Or not a Rune Knight. Ruin Guard. There's some hilly trails here too I can fight. So I'll get Mona, because Animo characters do best on elemental reactions. So Mona will do that. So this guy's, despite being a mage, he fights hand to hand. Now, some elements, though, don't interact with each other. So you kind of have to make sure that you're aware of how you're building your team. Yeah, wet is the hydro status.
Everybody stand back.
I hear everything.
Dead. Yeah, so there's 4-star and 5-star characters. A 5-star character is, quote, better. It depends on how you want to use them, though. But the 5-star characters get cutscenes when you use their bursts. The 4-stars don't. But yeah, like, here's another challenge. Like, this will get me a chest. And I can actually do it because it's going to be a bow-based challenge. Yep, just...
Why is there a chest here?
Honestly, this is a game I kind of just play when I, like, I play for dailies, but I also just play it when I, you know, just want to do something. Because it's a game I don't really have to commit to for a stream completely.
Fracture! Yeah, you can't move me! Can't run from
Oh, and I should also mention Hazo's a detective. Like, that's his job. He's a detective. Like, Mona's an astrologist. Mona is literally the Google of Genshin. Like, she looks up things. She's just like, oh, let me just look up the answer. And she, like, literally will just, like, use astrology to, like, find the answer to things. Right? Like, they all have, like, really interesting characters, personalities. Kind of think, because you like rogue... Oh, you know who you would like? You'd like Child. Or Tartaglia, really. So he's a bow user, but what he can do is he can discard his bow to summon 2 water daggers, and he goes in for, like, quick, close combat. Let me, I'll replace Rosaria with him just to show it
Keep your
off.
eyes wide open.
Oh, Seiyu's a ninja. That was the reason I even pulled for him. He's technically also a bad guy. You do not get any playable characters that are not on friendly terms with the main character, but he technically works for the bad guys. My favorite thing, and a piece of information I also recently learned. So, where's Wanderer? This guy here. So this guy was also a bad guy. He has a very, like, demeanor, like...
You want me to introduce myself? I've gone by many names and titles during my journey. Although each one is more eminent than any ordinary mortal could imagine, they're all just water under the bridge to me now. Call me whatever you like. Go ahead. Let me see what you can come up with. Don't disappoint me.
Just to give you an idea of his personality. But his voice actor, Patrick Pendraza, it also voices a Care Bear. So I just like that piece of information. Oh, enemies. Yeah, I need you to group together because I need to hit 2 of you. Get over here.
And away I go! Illusion shattered!
You can run, but you can't hide.
Oh, a boss. This will be fun.
Inazuma shines eternal!
Rock and roll! Just some of the abilities are also kind of crazy too.
You're mine. Shouldn't let your guard down.
He wasn't really a boss, he was just like a tough enemy, but... And like there's just so many different types of team comps in this game and everything, and...
Sooner we're done, the better.
Yeah. The combat is very fast-paced. There's very few, like... If a character is slow, then attacking's generally not their thing. Like Dory here, for example. She uses a greatsword, despite what you may think. But she's referred to as a battery, meaning she generates energy really fast and allows other characters to gain access to their bursts more. Yeah, you have to level them each individually. But you don't level them through the normal means. I'll show you with Sarah here. So what you do is you can get these books by doing quests or events. And you basically, these books are experience. So you level them up, then you'll reach a cap. And the cap is to prevent you from over-leveling beyond where you stand in the game. That is increased by increasing your adventure rank. Mine's capped at 45 because I got to do a thing for it. But I still get the experience. That determines how strong the enemies in the game are going to be and stuff. And the rewards, etc. But yeah, as you level up the character, or once your character hits a cap, I can show you here, you have to ascend. And this means you have to collect materials from certain enemies, or just from like plants and stuff, to be able to ascend them to the next thing. To the next level bracket, basically. What is this? Yeah, like, there's tons of characters in this. Because each region in the game is based off of somewhere different in the world. So I think this is based off of, like, I think someone said Mayan, but I could be wrong. And I think the desert's more Egypt than anything, but Inazuma's based off Japan. Liyue's based off of China. And Mondstadt is based off of Germany. There's another region we haven't found yet, or gotten to yet, called Snezhnaya. And it's the region that guy that uses the water weapons is from. And that's supposedly based off of Russia. But we don't know what hydro or pyro regions are based off of. But yeah, it's... I just enjoy the game because it's fun combat. And I also like the characters too. Like, the characters are worth knowing in this game. I'm trying to think of other, like, you might like D-Luke. Whoops. Whoops. Not that, no.
D-Luke of Mondstadt. Not interested in idle chit-chat. If you have things you want to get done, let me know.
Their relevance to the story generally plays off of their star. Like, 5-star characters are generally more involved in story than 4 stars. But it depends, because it's like... Matt Mercer, no. Sean Chiplock. I don't know if you'd even know any of the characters. Because, like, I don't know many of them. Like, some of them don't even have many credits, either. Griffin Burns... I know Bennett and Venti share the same voice actress. Cristia V. Venezuela. Or Valenzuela.
This is your team? Cool. I like the vibe. I'm Bennett, leader of Benny's adventure team. Any chance we could team up? Please?
He's so desperate. And then Ningguang is Aaron Ebers.
I am Ningguang.
She's the leader of Liyue.
You be my personal bodyguard, and I will show you how to get ahead in Liyue.
Oh. And then Layla's the dream, where she suffers from like sleep or like sort of like a sleeping condition. So when she so she's constantly tired, and when she actually falls asleep, she sleepwalks but gets more accomplished when she's asleep.
Hi, I'm Layla, a Ratawa student. Oh, sorry, I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm a bit out of it today. What did you say again? You want to team up with me? No, it's not that I don't want to, I'm just not sure my crazy sleep schedule will really work for you, but, I guess I look forward to working with you.
And then you got Seiyu, who's obsessed with growing taller. So she tries to sleep as much as she can.
Sayu, Shumatsuban, at your disposal. Phew. But if you don't need me right now, I'm gonna grab some sleep. Nope, no need to tuck me in. I need the extra room to grow into.
Like, she's so obsessed with height. Pretty much, so far it seems like every update, every, like, monthly major update, there's one new 5-star and one new 4-star. Like, on the banners today, banners now. So, Al Haytham is the new 5-star, and Yao Yao is the new 4-star. And then Yunjin and Xinyan are, return banner characters, and then Zhao is a return as well. So the way it works, the way this whole wishing thing works, so there's a standard banner. You can actually see the details here. It gives you all the information you need to know. There are 6 5-stars that are always available. Diluc, Jean, Chi-Chi, Mona, Tainari, and Ketching, along with some weapons. However, every 4-star is constantly available. However, just on these banners, these 3 have higher odds. However, 5-stars can only be gotten on the banners they're exclusive to, except for the 6 that I mentioned prior. As when you pull a 5-star on one of these banners, there's a mechanic called the 50-50. When you get a 5-star, you have a 50% chance on the first pull, the first 5-star pull, for it to be that character or one of the 6 I previously mentioned. If you fail it, the next 5-star is guaranteed to be this character. You are guaranteed a 5-star in 90 pulls. That's how it works in the details. Guaranteed to win 5-star character at least once per 90 attempts. 4 stars is a guaranteed 4-star every 10 pulls. But it could also be weapons too. Like, there are weapons in here as well. Like technically infinite. Like, the game gives you, I think, 20 free pulls right off the bat, if you make a new account. But beyond that, as long as you're just exploring, doing quests, and participating in events, it's super easy to save up on primos. I have a friend that's entirely free to play, and she does perfectly fine. Like, as long as you're happy with the characters you have, like. And another thing too, I can show you this. So this is the event panel. This is the test run panel, meaning every time the banners change, the game lets you test out the new characters. Right? So, like, I can try out Zhao, and this will give me a little bit of a free fight to see whether I like Zhao enough to see if he's worth buying. Gives you a little description on how he plays. Now, this also bumps up, like, the cooldown rates and stuff, so you can use the character more.
Let the show begin.
So now I have my burst.
Useless. Get out of my way. Evil conquering.
Like, I don't mind Zhao per se, but there's just aspects of him, like, he's constantly losing health when he's in his burst state. And I don't like that. That's why he's paired with Barbara for the trial, because Barbara's a healer. It's auto. It's like Kingdom Hearts kind of auto comboing. Like you just basically spam a button and it combos. But like you can switch characters mid combo. Like let me test out Alhaitham again.
Midnight Phantasmagoria! I summon thee!
A process of elimination.
Oz, reveal thyself!
No rest for you.
Diffract.
Wings of darkness, come, sever night from day. I summon thee.
Yeah, so and then there's tons of events and stuff that let you kind of just use the characters for fun in events, which also let you trial them. So you like I like those because you get to trial a character before they become available. So you get to determine whether you think they're worth getting or not in the future. I think, is there anything else I can do? Because I don't know if I want to push story anymore because it's rather late. It's just getting rather late. Maybe off tomorrow, but, you know. But yeah, like, there's a current event going on right now. It's the Lantern Rite. So Liyue Harbor here, you know, is like all decked out and everything. And there's also various characters that are kind of just... standing around, like Yunjin and Xinyan are right here.
Okay, now I need to get a move on and write my next song.
Listen to you. You only just fulfilled one lifetime dream. Are you really thinking about your next goal already?
Don't try to tell me you ain't the same way.
So Xinyan here is a rock star, rock enthusiast. And Yunjin is an opera star.
Xinyan. The Adeptus Seeking Voyage. How does that sound?
Oh man! Yeah, I can already picture it.
I've also got just the finishing line for it. I'll close with, and the celestial melody echoed through the clouds forevermore.
My current favorite one, though, is on Beto's ship here. Venti and Kazuha.
This is such a cool ship!
Facing the sea breeze and gazing out at the soaring seagulls,
makes me want to sing out loud!
Kazuha, how about I stay here and be the ship's resident bard? What are my prospects?
With your level of artistic finesse, I'm sure nothing will go wrong. But I'm afraid the sailors aboard are not the most versed in the arts. They probably wouldn't understand the deeper meaning your poetry holds.
You can't say that for sure. Poetry is spur-of-the-moment creations. Anyone viewing the same sights and experiencing the same atmosphere would surely understand. There's a port in Mondstadt too, but I rarely get the chance to board any of the ships.
Speaking of ships, everything's perfect about this one, except... Kozua, could you tell your captain that my height says nothing of my age? I'm way past drinking age. How often does one get to enjoy a seafood feast on a ship? It'll be a real shame if there isn't anything stronger to enhance the food. Pretty please?
There's not much I can do about that. It's not because Captain Beto's not on the ship right now, but because there's no room for negotiation on this matter. Even I have to sit in the no-drinking zone every time.
But I don't get drunk after just a few sips. Trust me, I can hold my liquor really well.
So because he's like, because Venti is like the god of freedom, he's basically almost like, you could almost argue he's the god of like wine. Like he can drink like forever and not get drunk, despite his frame. And then they referred to Beto. Beto is actually out in the wild as well during the event, talking to Ningguang. So Beto's the pirate captain in charge of that ship. She's right down here. They all have their additional quirks. Like Zhong Li is just, he has a near perfect memory, and he's lived for 6,000 years. He's like a Sheldon Cooper memory, and he's lived for 6,000 years, so he just remembers everything. And whenever people ask him opinions, he explains things from his memory as fact. Like, there's no negotiate. Like, he doesn't argue with people, but he says, basically, this is how it happened. So here's Ningguang and Beto. So there's Beto, the pirate captain.
Don't tell me you called me over for just a game of chess.
You have to be more specific, Captain Beto. Is it that you find playing chess an uninteresting activity, or that you're unhappy about my lack of novel ideas? If you don't specify what you mean, how could I know what I should do to please you?
Of course. I make a single remark and you reply with a full-blown lecture. Maybe we should deal with all official affairs publicly in the future. It might just make things easier.
I'd be perfectly happy with that. I'm just worried that Captain Beto's business might be negatively affected.
Don't give me that. That woman from Yenshang Tea House sometimes comes aboard to ask for information. She requested the fleet to import some goods, but how could I not know who she's actually working for?
Oh, you sure know a lot, Captain Beto. How about I ask her to come over? Or maybe we go straight to her tea house. With one more person around, we'll be able to have some variety in our chess games. I hope that would be less of a bore to you.
So, we're still gonna play chess after all.
So it's heavily implied within like cutscenes and stuff that these two are a couple. Like, sort of. Like, if at least friends with benefits. But China has a law. I actually read this up. China has a law that prevents media from showing like same-sex couples and stuff in media. And since Genshin is a Chinese game, they cannot directly state that they are a couple. So it's just constantly heavily implied. At least the fandom runs miles with it. I'll say it that way. But some of the cutscenes are like, yeah, they're doing things together for sure. Yeah. But, like, basically, all the law, from what I understand, all the law says is that they can't be gay. Right? Like, but, you know, it doesn't say that they can't have interesting reactions that could be just perceived in one perceived in any 3 different ways. Anyway, Zhongli's in here with Guoba. Guoba is the former stove god.
The vegetables are fresh, and there are enough wheats and grains stocked up. I'll pass on the seafood. Oh, it's you. We meet again. Surprised to see me here? It's the director's orders. Xiangling worked all day and night at the restaurant during the festival.
So he goes from being the god of Geo to being a consultant at the funeral parlor.
In the kitchen, so that Xiangling will have some time to herself. But with someone as hardworking as you around, there seems to be nothing much for me to do. It feels good seeing my old friend in the kitchen, fetching ingredients and lighting fires. Perhaps I should borrow Cloud Retainer's Supreme Cuisine machine to speed things up. You'd still prefer to make them by hand, but of course.
And then there's 4 more. They're over by the harbor. We got Hu Tao on the left there. There's Zhenlin, Chengyan, and Xingqiu. She is the director of the funeral parlor. She's a chef.
Honest about what?
He's like part of a guild,
Why are
and
you
he's an
suddenly
exorcist.
asking that?
Aren't they book buddies?
Yeah, we met a few times at a book convention. That's all.
I should also point out that no one knows that Zhongli or Venti are gods.
Literary talent. He's definitely not just any bard.
Unlike some archons like Raiden, there are some that are not aware that, like, they Zhongli faked his death, and Venti just is kind of absentee.
Xingqiu wouldn't lie to us.
Okay, I'll tell you the truth.
Huh?
Xingqiu.
I'm actually a fan of Venti's poetry. You all know that I love reading, and sometimes come across poetry from Mondstadt. Among those works, I admire the ones penned by Venti the most. Just as Hu Tao said, his artistry is the reflection of his personality.
Hu Tao is great though, because she has like this incredibly joyous personality as she's trying to give people 2-for-1 deals on
Because he
coffins.
didn't want to embarrass me in front of everyone. He's such a considerate person.
Yes, right. I can confirm that. When Xingqiu was busy with other things, he asked me to buy him poetry books in secret.
I see. That didn't sound like too much of a big deal. You could have told us right away.
Well, I'm telling you now, aren't I?
Oh, so that's your story.
Forget it. Let's drop this topic.
It's not often that the 4 of us are all together. What should we do next? Hide and seek, hopscotch, or some shopping?
Since there's 4 of us, why don't we borrow a mahjong set?
And then the last people, there's actually another city here. Chinksa village. There's a couple others here. So Yao Yao is here, and so is Yang Fei and Madame Ping, who looks like a generic character, but she's actually important. So Yang Fei is a lawyer.
Granny, you play so beautifully. Do you
And she's like memorized every law in Liyue. And Liyue is the city of contracts. So the idea, so it probably has more laws than you can possibly imagine.
To teach you this, that, and the other.
And she's memorized them all.
Granny, I'm a fast learner. And anyway, the sooner I start learning, the sooner we'll be able to perform a duet together. A musical duo is only as good as its weakest link. So you gotta teach me all your secrets, okay?
All right. Well, you can start by making me some more tea and leaving it to cool on the side.
Sure, Granny.
So Madame Ping is actually an Adepti, which is an illuminated beast, sort of like a beast, beast or animal with power. Yang Fei is half Adepti, as her dad is an Adepti. Yao Yao is just a kid.
I'm so happy. And all the grandmas and grandpas in Chingsa village had a great time too. You mean, what am I doing here? Well, just now, I did a performance for everyone. Although I can't play an instrument anywhere near as well as Master, I can still sing. Even Granny Roshin said I did a great job. She also gave me some candies. Make my escape.
Now, keep in mind, these characters are only here for the event, but I just like, yeah, I just have fun with the the world the game is in. And then you got like, so here you got story quests. So these ones are story based on these characters. Like I could do Tainari and Nilo's right now. Nilo is a dancer. And then you got hangout events. So these are like branching stories based off of these 4-star characters. So you get to kind of like you basically hang out with them, but you hang out with them in different patterns. Like I've completed Barbara's here, so we can look and see how it branches. Like I actually didn't even need to do this one because it all just kind of leads to the same thing. Right, and there's different endings, and you end up with pictures of each. So view memory. Right. I've not really done many of them, and in some cases I've only completed a few of them. Like I only completed one of Beto's. I just like how she's using your head as an armrest, though. I can say, oh, can I save the picture? That's kind of cool. Not realize I could do that. You also get rewards for doing this too. Like, here's like various rewards and stuff: materials, primos, leveling books, adventure rank stuff. Oh, and the best part, if you ever wish to live your fantasy as a genie, you get to live in a teapot. And then the moment you enter the teapot, it basically turns into Sims. Where you just get to create your own world. I didn't create it. I just kind of threw things on the area. Because there's like adapti energy bonus, and it like earns you things over time.
This realm is truly beginning.
Oh, what? Oh, apparently I got a new type of wood.
If you ever have...
And you can like end up adding characters in here, and then you can talk with them. So like I can talk to Barbara here.
Hi there. Oh, seeing you so full of life puts my mind at rest.
And as you increase your friendship, they'll have more things to say. So initially you start with, how do you like it here? And then you get, would you like to have a chat with me? And then, is there anything you'd like to do?
Morning.
Yeah. There's one conversation you might like with Chong Yun here. He, where he kind of reveals he doesn't understand the concept of books.
Anecdotes.
Is there any, would you like to have a chat with me?
Alright. I actually just had an infuriating experience. It went like this. Not too long ago, I heard someone talking about a book called Anecdotes of Demons and Oddities. I spent a lot to buy a copy. Who would have thought that this book was all about some dastardly, immoral villain? It was really hard to control my anger. It took half a day to get my breathing and blood pressure under control.
Not quite what was said on the label. I'll go explain what happened and help you return the book.
The label? No, I wasn't bothered by the book's title. What made me angry was, how could there be such an atrocious person on this earth? If I ran into them, I definitely... Whoa. Calm down.
A book's plot is usually made up by its author.
You mean, this person isn't real? But the plot's twists and turns felt like they were unfolding right before my eyes.
Chang'en's just very naive.
You don't mean... I mistakenly believed?
It's alright, it just means the author writes very well.
I'm sorry. I made a fool of myself.
Right, and then you got Ye over here, who's she actually created a publishing house, so she like sometimes talks in the idea of like creating novels.
Well, hello. What brings you to see me today? If there's anything weighing on your mind, you can always talk to me. I'm always happy to listen to other people's
Would you like to have a chat with me?
Someone to talk to, hmm? Oh, what's the matter? Are you feeling lonely?
She's also very saucy.
Well, as luck would have it, I happen to be in a good mood today. How about I tell you a story from long ago, Long, long ago, there was a little child who suddenly turned up at the shrine one day. In her arms, she was carrying a little fox on the brink of death.
She's also a
She knelt
kitsune and a
before
shrine
Kitsune
maiden.
Saigu and begged her to save her friend. The child said the fox had started appearing frequently in the village ever since she had fed it some fried tofu. But it wasn't long before misfortune struck. Now that the fox had let down its guard, a vicious dog from the village seized the chance to attack, delivering a near-fatal bite. Heartbroken and riddled with guilt, the child decided to bring the injured fox to the shrine for help. Kitsune Saigu granted her request and agreed to nurse the little fox back to health. Worried that the little girl would be lonely without her companion, Kitsune Saigu decided to ask another member of her kin to keep the little girl company for a few days. I was the one she asked. Well, obviously, being the fabulously beautiful fox that I am, it wasn't long before the little girl was crazy about me. Not only would she buy me all sorts of tasty treats to eat, she would pamper me day in and day out. She always wanted me by her side, even when she was sleeping. After 2 days, the little fox had recovered, and I accompanied the girl back to the shrine. Upon our arrival, Kitsune Saigu asked the girl which fox was her favorite, the one she had made friends with originally, or the new one. She hesitantly looked back and forth between me and her old fox friend. But when her own fox trotted up and whimpered to her, she finally set me down. The fox you gave me is very beautiful, Miss Shrine Maiden, but I still love my old friend the most. Finally, the child offered some fried tofu to thank me for accompanying her, then left with her little fox friend.
What an amazing story.
Wait a moment, child. You're not planning to just leave it at that, are you? Come on, I've told you my story. Now it's your turn. Shouldn't you offer me something?
How
in
about I go buy
exchange?
you some fried tofu?
Now you're talking. All right, I'll wait for you here. Make it quick, though. I can tell you some other stories when you return.
Yeah, that's one thing too, is that characters... So you can feed food to characters to like heal them when you're not in combat. Food is a thing here. It also can provide buffs and stuff. However, characters actually have likes and dislikes when it comes to food. Like, I'll use Shinobu, for example, because I have her at max friendship, so, like, favorite food.
Even after eating something really filling like ramen or gyoza, I still always want to finish my meal with a small bowl of rice. Rice is just delicious, that's all. Is there a problem with that?
So, like, I don't necessarily know what it means, but it probably just means she gets a benefit, like a bonus, to any meal that includes rice. But her least favorite food is probably a penalty.
There's a saying I heard in Liyue. There's no bad food, only bad cooks. After getting my license as a chef, I became even more convinced that this is absolutely true.
Then you got, like, is Raiden's friendship high enough for me to see what her favorite foods are?
Oh, don't listen to the Shogun. Desserts. Cavities are no big deal. You can just replace your teeth. Anyway, I just don't see how desserts can pose a serious obstacle to my pursuit of eternity.
She's not, like, she replaced her physical body with, like, a puppet body. So, she doesn't have even real teeth. But then Wanderer, who's her creation, I don't know if I have enough friendship. Yeah. His least favorite food.
I'm no fan of Dongo, or any other sticky sweets that make me feel like my teeth are fusing together. Keep them to yourself.
And then what was... I remember Official had a good one.
I believe I know the answer to this one.
Indeed you do, Oz. Ah, that poor mortal coil, mutilated by bondage unnatural.
It will never again fly as I do.
Deprived of the humble coif with which it was born to gaze in awe at the majesty of its monarch. Surely it is a glimpse of my homeworld's hell in the flesh. The name of the dish escapes me.
Something, madame, isn't it?
What is food but the shackles of mortal flesh? But if the Prinzessin de Verurtelung should reckon any morsel worthy, then
Does she have any dialogue lines that break character?
Has mein Fräulein lost her appetite for the Mitternachtsbrot des Sommernachtgartens?
That is merely to provide mine earthly vessel with such sustenance as it doth require to perform its royal duties.
I forget whether she has any lines that break character. And if she does, I probably haven't reached them yet.
To vanquish the beast, my magic arrow with this. To
I believe I know the answer to this.
What does it take to rile a prince?
Mein
I
Fräulein reads a lot of novels. My name, Oz, is from one of her favorites.
To condemn the guilty. Oz is
Like, her real name is
Valdo
Amy.
If one must reckon time as this world does, I Fischl, you and I, me, sweet shall be thy sleep, spared of the mare. I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine.
Anyways, yeah. I think I've goofed off enough, so I'm probably gonna call the stream here. No, I'm not really gonna progress much. I did get Act 3 done, so I'm happy with that. Move on to Act 4 next week when we get back to this. Tomorrow is gonna be Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus stream. I'm gonna be I might be able to finish up the game on Yuito's. No problem, Jester. I'm glad you were at least willing to listen, because I know you said you weren't interested at first, but it is a fun game. Like, in all honesty, for games like this, I always say one thing: if it's free to play, there's no harm in trying it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Even me at first, when I first started playing it, I played it for about a month and a half, 2 months. I had to take a break from it. I took a 2-month break, came back, and I've been loving it since. So it's like, if a game is free to play, there is no negative effects at trying it. Yeah, pretty much. And since it's on mobile, now mobile and PC versions can link. Like, if I sign into the account on my phone, I'm playing the same account I was just playing on. So, I don't know about the PlayStation versions though, or Switch for that matter, but yeah, it's like, I just really like to have fun with it. For tomorrow though, I'm hoping I can beat Scarlet Nexus for Yuito's playthrough. I don't think I'm gonna do Kasane's right away. I feel like I want to take a step away from the game, and if I come back to it, I come back to it. If not, like, I really kind of want to move to a different game. I'm thinking of something that's more turn-based strategy. But I don't want something too long. So, like, obviously, as much as I'd love to do Divinity Original Sin 2, that game will take me a lifetime to play. It's a fun game, but the combat is way more intense than I would like to admit. But I would very much like to play that game one day. But, like, sometimes that combat can, like, that's like the epitome of D&D, where you can spend 5 minutes on just a single turn of combat. But yeah, I'll spend some time trying to figure out what games I might want to play. If any interest me. But yeah, so with that said, I'm going to call it here. My name's Daimien Kamiya. I'm the Omni King, and be you friend, foe, or member of the Omni Council. I'm going to see you later. Goodbye, everyone.